Everyone comes from a different walk of life, and you just have to be able to adapt and kind of roll with the punches and take it on the chin sometimes when you got to, and just keep moving forward and true to yourself and doing the right thing. And as long as you do that, you should come out successful.
The Buzz on Better Business podcast, positioning your business as one that is trustworthy, is something that we all know is important. But what does it actually take to accomplish this? Join your BBB each month as we unveil the world of local accredited businesses who have it mastered and have positioned themselves as ethical leaders in our Acadiana marketplace. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Buzz on Better Business podcast, joined by Reggie Baudouin with Basque Pools and Outdoors. He'll tell you a little bit about the saltwater kick in the pool that came around and then it's not so common anymore. Kind of where he's from, how he got into the pool industry, which, can you believe it's a family tradition basically to work in the pool industry, and what he's doing these days and what is in the future for Basque Pools. All right, well, Reggie, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Basque Pools and Spas, right? Basque Pools and Outdoors.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Reggie, let's start out talking a little bit about where you're from. Where did Reggie grow up?
I grew up here in Lafayette. I was born and raised here in Lafayette.
Okay.
Grew up right down the road. So grew up in family businesses, locally owned businesses here.
Okay. Now, has pools always been something that you've been interested in?
So I grew up family business. My aunt had a pool store growing up. So grew up cleaning pools, grew up summer job. And I just always gravitated to the pool industry.
Well, I tell you, I know for sure there's a need for you guys, because I've seen some people not able to necessarily keep their pools in the most pristine condition. Is that what all do you guys do at Basque Pools?
So we do everything from design to maintenance, construction, renovation, service and repair work. So yeah, we have retail store, chemicals.
And y'all are located here or in Lafayette or
here in Lafayette on Beaupre Road.
Okay. And how many guys you got working with you? Guys and gals?
We have 7 employees.
And right now, so it's getting into the fall, late summer. Like what y'all's seasons look like when it's busy, slow?
Seasons would be, honestly, we clean pools year round here. We're fortunate. Okay. We're fortunate we live on the Gulf Coast. We live in a climate where our pools require maintenance all year round. We don't really winterize anything. So with that, we clean pools year round. So our service and maintenance department slows down, but we're able to build pools year round also and do renovation. So
okay.
Yeah.
So y'all do a mix of like new installs, maintenance, service.
Correct.
As well.
Yep.
Do y'all have a storefront, or is it mostly like on location work?
Most of it is on location. We do have a small storefront, and we have a design center. So where we meet with clients, design center, pick out all your materials for your new build or your renovation.
So that sounds like fun. The design aspect of it, right? Somebody comes in and they have this vision of what they want their maybe, backyard or pool to look like.
That's correct.
And you guys have to figure out if that's even realistic, right?
Right. We help them build that. We help them build that dream.
Yeah.
We help them put that together and guide them and help them through the whole process.
Now, tell me a little bit about that, I guess, because I know a pool's not just a hole in the ground filled with water. There's a lot that goes into one of these, right?
Yeah, there is. There's quite a bit. We start with design. We're a design build firm, so we go through the whole principles of design.
Mm-hmm.
We get your needs, your wants. We figure out what we can build in your backyard, and then from there we take it and we put it all together for you. We're there from the beginning, from concept all the way through completion. But what goes into it, the behind the scenes of it is a lot of planning, a lot of communication, a lot of, quite honestly, engineering.
Sure.
As far as the structure, the plumbing, the hydraulics of a swimming pool, how to make it work efficiently and in maintenance wise,
what that's going to look like.
That's correct.
Keeping it up. And, with that, I guess it involves like you said, a lot of design, a lot of engineering. Now, I'm curious, just from an outsider's perspective. So I've never even lived at a house growing up or as an adult that has an in-ground pool. So I'm really ignorant when it comes to the subject. My in-laws do have an in-ground pool, and it's always looking great. So maybe you guys take care of it for them. I don't know. But how many, I guess, years of experience you have in the industry now? So you've been doing this since you were young.
Yeah, I started, like I said, worked for family businesses growing up, and then opened my own, my first company in 2001, small service company, one-man show, and then eventually just grew it until 2017. I wanted to do something different in the industry, and it had the design element to it. So at that particular time in 2017, I teamed up with a landscape architect, and we started design. And then I started my journey. I went back to school, and through Genesis, which is the industry educational platform. And last year I finished and got my certified master builder. So I'm a master builder by trade, which is the highest. It is the highest level of education in the pool industry. There's only 49 of us in the country.
Well, man, congratulations on that. You. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure, so that's a big deal. I mean, 49 in the country is kind of,
right.
That's great. That's awesome.
Right. So we're the only one in Louisiana. And like I said, we're one of 49 in the country.
Golly, that would be on like every piece of marketing I have, I think, letting people know, like, I'm only one of these, like, in the whole state.
Yeah.
I'm only one.
Yeah. We have a good marketing team too.
I've heard. Yeah. I've heard.
She's here.
She may be in studio overseeing, but so in that time, I guess, in all of those years of experience, how have things changed? Have you seen things change, maybe, is a better question.
Yeah, no, we've seen things change from anything from your weekly maintenance, chemicals, a few years back, through COVID. Big changes there.
Okay.
Industry went through a whole transformation as far as design, chemicals, different things. At one point, I think the year we had Hurricane Laura, it actually, one of the chlorine plants in Lake Charles got wiped out. So
I heard about that.
It changed a lot of how we were taking care of.
Is that when the chlorine price went up a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So chlorine prices went up during COVID. As far as the industry goes nationwide, had a surge. Everybody was stuck at home, and they needed a swimming pool. They needed something to do. So we had a very big surge through that. And then now we're kind of getting back to reality a couple years later, and getting back to our normal rhythm. And prices have come down a little bit, but they don't ever get back to what it used to be.
Right.
So, but technology, a lot of things in the last 6 years or so, as far as automation goes, pool automation, robotic cleaners, everything's wireless, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You control the pools all from a smart device.
Dang, so see, that's not even something I was even thinking about.
Right.
I was like, how much, do you use different materials now? I mean, this is like space pools now.
And we do. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, we built standard pools. We had, you built a rectangle, geometric, you built a freeform. We are in now a phase of their resort style pools. We build lazy rivers. We build custom pools, anywhere from, a 9x14 up to 20x50, and all stone deck with water features and slides. And, so they're more resort style, outdoor living. So that has changed, like I said, in the last 6 years or so, to where now it's a whole, you're selling a whole lifestyle of outdoor living. So we build the outdoor kitchen, we build the outdoor kitchen, the outdoor living space.
So that makes sense. It's more of almost like you could, as a customer, have you guys, design and build a pool, or design and build a full outdoor experience.
That is correct.
And it kind of anywhere along that realm, right?
Right. And we help, whether we build it or not, we help you we help you through that process, that design process of how it should work and how it should function.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. And that in the name, Basque Pools and Outdoors,
Right.
that's that ties that together.
That's correct.
The outdoor experience there, which you're right. The pandemic changed so much. There's so many small businesses out there that if you ask them about their story, a lot of it's like, well, I got laid off during COVID and I really like to bake cookies. So now that's what I do and sell them, and I make a living doing that. So it really kind of made people uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's changed so many things. And in your industry, it was great for you guys. People are at home. They're like, well, I want an outdoor space that I can really enjoy in the back.
Right.
Versus the, half dead grass that I, had most of the time, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what's something unique, I guess, about you guys? We may have already covered it, with the only, one of 49 in the country, master builders. But what's something unique about you guys compared to, I don't know, maybe other pool companies or people that would construct pools or outdoor spaces?
The biggest part is the customer service aspect of it, the experience that we build. Like I said, it starts with design all the way through completion of project. So the customer service experience, the service after the sale, those are things that we work really hard on to separate us from other companies. We don't just build a pool. We create that experience. We want, it's about, for us, it's about customer retention.
Right.
If we build your pool, but we want you to also be our customer for as long as you own that property. Right.
And that's well said, because to be honest with you, an in-ground pool, which I know is quite an expense, and creating that space, customer retention doesn't seem like it would really be a top priority, but it is for you guys.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. So, you have a pool, it has to be serviced, it has to be maintained.
Sure.
Whether you do it yourself as a homeowner or we do it for you through our weekly maintenance program. So if you're going to do it yourself, we're there. We teach you pool school. We go to Pool School 101.
Oh, that's cool.
We teach you how to maintain your pool, your weekly maintenance routine, what you have to do. And then we also have our storefront. So you can come in, bring your water, test it. We have all the chemicals you need, and we're there to help you. So yeah, it's customer retention.
Kind of a partner in the endeavor there for the homeowner.
Sure. Yeah. You're supposed to enjoy a pool, right? Not be a nightmare and
stressed out.
And not be stressed out.
Nobody wants to get in your pool. Yeah, that would stress you out for sure.
Yeah, so you want to be able to enjoy your pool, and that's what we're here to do. As the experts in the industry, we're here to help you be able to enjoy that pool and not be a headache for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And I customer service, it seems like something that is so common sense, yet it's something that seems hard to find sometimes too. And that's just everywhere. That's here in Acadiana, that's across the country, And I was actually speaking to a business owner the other day who mentioned his first company he thought would be one where they just made a lot of money and focused on the dollar and everything. And he ended up closing that company a couple of years after they started because the customers just weren't truly at the forefront of what he was doing. And then now he has a different company. He's learned lessons. Yeah. And but customer service seems, from all the successful businesses that I speak to, we have 1,100 members, accredited members, which you guys are accredited with us at the BBB. All of those great businesses that I'm able to sit down and speak to, one of the number one pillars for them is customer service. Why is that so important to you guys?
Well, it's important because, that's your business. Your customers are your business at the end of the day. You have to make sure that you are catering to their needs. And once again, it goes back to retention, and it goes back to the experience you build. But customer and service to a business is vital. It's its life. If it's its heartbeat is the customers.
Yeah. With no customer, what business do you have?
You have nothing, right? Yeah. So we work really hard at that. Yeah.
Well, and it's refreshing to hear. Obviously, I know you guys are doing great, which is a testament to that for sure. But it's not always the easiest thing to do. You can say all day we have great customer service, but then Well, you got to actually do that. And that's not always, it's sometimes challenging, I guess.
It's very challenging. It's very challenging day in, day out. It's, never the same. It's always, every situation is different.
Yep.
Every day is different. For us, every project is different. Although we do the same thing over and over and over. Each one's different. Each person's different.
Sure.
For us, each neighbor is different.
Yeah.
We come across all of it. So, once going back to the customer experience, that's where the customer service, but it's still challenging every day.
Well, definitely.
Communication. We live in such an instant world now, with text messaging. And, so expectations of clients, keeping up with that demand is very challenging.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the customer service experience.
Right. That's a good way to put it. We have a unique perspective at BBB as well. We, of course, report on all businesses, and we know there's not great businesses out there. And we know for sure firsthand that there's some not so great consumers out there. And you kind of have to be able to navigate those conversations even when they're tough.
Yep.
And, as a company, when you're doing the right thing, though, in the end, when you're, following up with the promises that you've made and you're following through with, the expectations that you set, you guys are always succeeding in that.
Well, that's what you hope for, right? You do what's right for your customer. You do what's right. You do what you say. You stand behind your work. Service after the sale is huge for us. Like I said, it's not the easiest thing. Some people are, different customers, different.
Sure.
Everyone comes from a different walk of life, and you just have to be able to adapt and kind of roll with the punches, and take it on the chin sometimes when you got to, and just keep moving forward and true to yourself and doing the right thing. And as long as you do that, you should come out successful. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's well said. Well said. So
easier said than done, though.
Right. Well, and we know that. Yeah. Right. And the other caveat of that is you try as hard as you want. Nobody's perfect anyway, so you're going to make some mistakes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's making things right after the fact.
That's right. I mean, things happen. It's how it's handled that really matters at the end of the day.
Right.
So you have to come through on that, and that's where it gets hard.
That's where it gets hard. Now, speaking to you, obviously, customer service is important. You own and run this company, and if they're dealing with you, I have no doubt they're always going to get top-notch customer service. How do you make sure that the rest of your staff is embodying that? How is that something? How do you manage that, I guess?
So we manage it, with our team members, and knock on wood, we have great team members, and we, our mission is customer service. Quality customer service and communication, and we instill that in our employees, and we empower them to make those right decisions and make sure they know that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what business we're in the service industry, and we're working for that client, and we have to take care of our clients. We know if something goes wrong, if something's bad, you take care of it. You take care of the people who take care of you. So, we instill that in our employees.
Yeah. And make sure that they're embodying that same mantra that you live by. That's sometimes that's, creating a culture within the organization. Like, this is what we do. This is who we are.
Yeah. We work, our marketing team and Jenny, and they really work hard on culture. Right. And that's changed over the years.
Sure.
Growing up in family businesses, it wasn't always that way. It really wasn't. So it's, it's a different atmosphere of what your employees are demanding and how you manage that. How you manage people is a lot different than it is from just 10 years ago.
Man, that's such a real topic that, is not always touched on enough. And you can look at that from both perspectives. There's a different pool of employees out there than there was maybe 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, like you mentioned. But employees maybe demand different things of a company now, that weren't thought of 10, 20 years ago. And that's something that as businesses, whether you like it or not, you kind of have to figure out a way to navigate that and still create and sustain a team that's able to meet the mission of the company.
Sure. And it's just empowering them and instilling in them that, without them, there is no Basque. Without our team members,
Sure.
I'm not on every job. I'm not there every day. It's for them to carry that mission out and make sure that, Basque's reputation and our customer service is excellent.
Yeah. That's actually something that we've talked with businesses about over the years too at BBB is, by being an accredited member and supporting BBB, all of the programs and services that you support in the community. So first and foremost, thank you guys for that, for being an accredited member and supporting us at BBB. But additionally, good people want to work with good organizations.
Sure.
And the more that you position yourself as that kind of company, the more, I guess, the better people you attract in a way, and that's something that we feel like is true. So
yeah, I could definitely see that.
Now, Basque Pool. So your name's Reggie Baudouin, not Reggie Basque.
Nope.
So share the story. I'm sure you've been asked before. Where did Basque come from?
So you bask in the sun.
It's that simple?
It's that simple.
I didn't even think of that.
I think we started with maybe a list of 40 names, and we just narrowed it down from from every aspect of when we were putting this brand together. And it's as easy as that. You bask in the sun.
You do. I guess that's a word I've never read before, because I was thinking of some naming thing.
Yeah. No.
Some acronym or
No, it's that easy.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and we do get asked quite often where it is, where it comes from.
Very good. Very good. So share a little bit about what regulates you guys. I know you talked about the master builder, certification. Is it a certificate licensing?
Yeah, it's a certification.
But there's other things required for you guys to maintain. You can't just start a company and go start building pools.
No, not in Louisiana. You have to you're supposed to be a licensed contractor with the state. So you have to have the qualifying party. You have to be able to pass the swimming pool state license exam. So those are the requirements. In the residential world, quite honestly, it's very unregulated and not enforced. So we do fight those battles as business owners.
Sure.
Not all of our competition's playing on the same rules, maybe.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. So it does get frustrating sometimes when you may lose a job to something or, someone like that, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And we hear that a lot in just the contracting industry as a whole. It's there's a lot of things that, whether it's home improvement projects or, roofing repair, where it's easy for a guy to grab some tools and go, start soliciting work. And he maybe doesn't have the licensing, to be able to perform that work, which is a, regulatory issue. But even more importantly, from a consumer standpoint, it's potentially like a quality and safety issue.
It is. It's a liability issue also. So it just in the weekly maintenance department, very unregulated. Anyone can, you have $1,500, you can start a pool cleaning business. But you can also ruin someone's pool in about 7 days with chemical balance. Or even when it's brand new, a startup, if if the chemicals aren't right, or you could actually hurt someone too. So a lot of, on the consumer side, sometimes isn't thought that way. They just think it's cleaning a pool. There's a lot more.
It's not just getting the leaves out, right?
No. So, in years to come, when they, ultimately they figure out their pool's ruined, then, it shows its ugly head. But, and that's just the residential industry. Home builders, they have the same problems.
Sure.
So, in the commercial world, it's a lot different.
So, on I guess a different topic, you made me think of it talking about the chemicals. Do you guys do more like chlorine, traditional, as I would consider traditional, or more like salt water? Because I hear that's like a thing now.
It is a thing. It's trending back to chlorine.
Okay.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, saltwater was a huge craze. And it works. There's a purpose for it. In South Louisiana, unfortunately, our climate's very harsh on pools. We get 70 inches of rain a year. Our water temperatures stay, in the 70s from March to almost December some years.
Right.
So it's, there's not a pool that doesn't use chlorine. Saltwater pools are chlorine pools. You're just using salt and you're producing your own chlorine. And the equipment is expensive. So as all this equipment started going out and out of warranty, it quickly trended back to chlorine once, everyone kind of figured out, well, you still got to buy chlorine, even though our pool is saltwater. So
now the water that we have here in South Louisiana, does that kind of present its own challenges as far as like, I don't know, pH levels and whatever makes the water sustainable long term? Or that you guys pretty much have that? I mean, that's an easy thing. That's when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, our water, for instance, in Lafayette, calcium, we have low calcium in our water, so we have to adjust those chemicals when we fill up a pool. All of that's done when we're filling up a pool. We're adjusting the chemicals to get them in range and properly start up the pool.
So how do y'all fill up a pool? Like when you build a brand new one with no telling how many hundreds of thousands of gallons.
Well, they're not that big anymore. So they're a lot smaller. They're down to 12,000.
I was just throwing a number out there.
Yeah, no. But we fill it off of your hose tap. So,
really? So how long does that take?
Depends on your water pressure. Yeah, it depends. Everyone's, some will fill up overnight. Some will take 2.5 days.
So the fire trucks don't come do that for you?
Not anymore.
Okay, so that used to happen. That used to be a thing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I could remember we had all the tools to do it, and my dad or my uncle, one of them was one of their buddies worked for the fire department, and they'd come do it. Now they don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't let you do it anymore, so it's a little different.
So the hose that'll take a while.
Yeah, so we fill it up off the hose, and it just depends, the size of the pool, different things. So
what would you say to somebody that's interested, right? They've got the outdoor space.
Mm-hmm.
They're maybe not sure what they want to do with it, but they want some help. They want to sit down and have a conversation. They don't want to really commit to a big project. They just want to know, hey, what do you guys think? That's something they should contact you for, right?
Yeah, that's the first step. The first step is an initial on-site consultation. We go out, we meet, look at your space, look at your yard, look at your access, see if it's feasible, if we can fit a pool in your backyard, look at your needs and wants, how you're going to use it. You have kids, grandkids, the functionality of it, and work through all of that. And that's really the first step.
Just get in touch with you guys and seeing if their vision makes sense.
Sure.
Because sometimes it doesn't.
No, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you have different things that don't allow you, whether it's a setback or drainage servitude,
okay. Yeah, there are obviously other things that play into that.
Other things that play into that. Smaller neighborhoods, they have different restrictions. And so that's why we're here to help, and determine what can be done in your backyard.
And I say that because my wife and I like to do home projects, whether it's on the home or just at the home. And there's typically a disconnect between, what she believes the project can happen and actually making it happen. So I can, just from a small scale, I can say there probably, there's always let's meet in the middle and figure out what we can really accomplish.
That's right. That's right. And we're usually in the middle of that conversation.
There you go. Well, that's good. So. Somebody with the expertise to know about, what's able to be accomplished. So what else, what's the future look like for Bass Pools? What are you guys planning on doing as you get in the next year? And what's exciting coming up for you guys?
Right now we're working, we've been working on a new retail store in a design center, a larger one. So that's to come in the near future. We have a good, good pipeline of work in front of us. We have some good projects coming up throughout the end of the year on into next year. So, we have a lot to look forward to. We have a strong service department. Lafayette, if you ever fly out of Lafayette, just look down and you'll see how many pools we have in Lafayette.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a demand, which is exciting for us, So that's really our goal, just to keep moving along and do what we're good at.
Yeah. And you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I do.
So you just, your schedule day to day running a business. I mean, you just a couple hours a day, you have to deal with it, huh?
Yeah. 26 hours a day. That's right.
There you go. No sleep for this guy.
Yeah. Seven Mondays in a row,
Yeah. Yeah. So let's just talk a little bit about that before we wrap up. Running a business is, it's an honorable thing. It's something you love to do, and it's something that not everybody can do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always as glorious as the commercial on TV, right?
No, unfortunately, it's not. It's not for the faint of heart. It's you have to love what you do, and you have to be passionate what you do. To be able to run a business every day and do it day in and day out, and be able to put out fires and keep 7 employees happy and whole list of customers happy.
Yeah, sure.
And it's truly, I wasn't joking about a 26-hour a day, because, top that off with a family and kids, and,
Sure.
You juggle a lot in a day. So you have to, it's not easy. It's rewarding in its own way.
Sure.
It's frustrating, but rewarding all at the same
Sure.
time. Kind of hard to
Absolutely.
describe it, but it does allow you the freedom to be your own person and make your own rules. And it's, at the end of the day, if it's going to be successful, it's on you. Your fate, your fate is not at anyone else's mercy, but your own.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well said. So, challenging but rewarding almost just sounds like parenthood in a way.
It is. Yeah. No. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we, employees are, you treat them like family, and you care about everyone. You treat your customers like family.
Sure.
We build a very strong rapport with our customers through the process. Like I said, it's not a short process. Construction can take anywhere from, 3 months to 6 months sometimes, depending on the scope of the work. So you get to know their families, you get to know their kids and their pets, and you're in their backyard space. You're
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
always at their
You're
house
on their
working.
right. That's right. You're on their back patio. I mean, it's you learn everything about them. What they do for a living, and
Yeah.
you build that rapport, and that's what's rewarding, and you get to meet different people every day. And learn, you never quit learning, you never stop
Right.
learning. And that's what we do. I mean, at Basque, all of our employees go through training. We're very big on continuing ed. Although I am a master builder, I think every team member that we have has to be, the expert in the industry, not only me.
Sure.
Just, I want all of our team members, and that will help Basque be successful.
Sure. Yeah. And that is a unique place for a business to be, because you're right. That's not, it makes sense. You're building pools in people's backyards, but when you are interacting with them, even if they're at work during the day, you're still possibly there before they go to work, and maybe there after they show up after work.
Yeah, we are.
Depending on the weather, right?
Yeah, depending on the weather, depending on what challenge we have that day.
Yeah.
We can be there for breakfast. We might be there for dinner too. Now we live in a world of cameras, so a lot of people are at work watching us work.
Hey,
So
that's very true too.
yeah. So it's quite common that we'll get a text message with a question, and because they're watching a camera,
That's not creepy at all.
but it is. We live in a world of cameras, so it's the customer interaction is very more involved,
Right.
with internet and cameras and all of Facebook groups.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it brings it has the customer's attention to where they're asking more questions. They're more involved, which is a good thing,
Sure.
And that's why we're here to answer those questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a very that's a unique position to be in as a business, being able to speak or be, I guess, so close with your customers because the amount of time you spend with them, and then you're basically at their residence,
Yeah.
So that's unique. That's not something I had thought of.
Yeah.
So for anybody out there who maybe has an idea about a business or something they really are passionate doing, maybe they work for somebody and they think, I think I want to try to do this on my own. What would be the biggest piece of advice that you've learned through running your own business that you would say, to them as a word of advice or even maybe a word of encouragement?
Yeah, I would say it's always very smart to put yourself in a group of mentors. I've been fortunate. My dad has had a business for 50 years.
Yeah.
Other friends of mine, and I've worked for other people. Continuing education. Don't ever stop learning.
Mm-hmm.
Business is challenging. You'll come across your own challenges, whether you're baking cookies or building pools.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you love. You got to be passionate about it. And don't quit. That's,
keep going. You make a mistake, keep going.
That's right. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. It's inevitable. So you just can't quit. If it's something you truly want to do and you're truly passionate about it, you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah. Well, Reggie, it's been great getting to know you. At the Better Business Bureau, our accredited members obviously are the ones that are actually out exhibiting what we try to, preach day in and day out to the consumers and to the community about what it means to be a good business. So, thank you for being a good business, one that can be looked at as a mentor, as a business that this business is doing the right things, the right ways. And, they're one that you could emulate and want to be like. So that starts with you. That starts, with your family leading the way for Bass Pools. So it's been great getting to know you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, joining the podcast, and
thanks for having us.
Sharing a little bit about your background and your business.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
I really hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for joining us. To help support the show, please like, share, follow us on whatever podcast application or even on YouTube, wherever you caught this episode at. If you want to find out more about the Better Business Bureau, you can contact us, 337-981-3497. You can find us on social media, BBB Acadiana. And as always, you can go to bbb.org for any information you're looking for. See you next time. Thank you so much for joining us.